So what really happened to Suga on the second night of the Arirang Tour in Stanford? Why were thousands of fans suddenly holding their breath as the lights hit the stage and every camera zoomed toward his leg? Was the pain too much for him to continue, or was something even more emotional hidden behind that sweet smile that melted the hearts of ARMY around the world? Before we begin this emotional story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because tonight's story is not just about music, not just about performance, but about sacrifice, loyalty, love for fans, and the heartbreaking determination of a superstar who refused to let pain destroy the happiness of the people waiting for him. And now the question that has shaken social media all night long remains the same: how could someone continue smiling so warmly while clearly struggling to hide pain behind every step? The atmosphere inside Stanford Stadium on Arirang Tour Day 2 felt completely different from the very beginning. The air itself seemed heavier, emotional, and full of anticipation as thousands of ARMY filled every corner of the venue while purple lights danced across the crowd like stars floating in the night sky. The screams became louder the moment the giant screen suddenly displayed the silhouette of Suga walking slowly toward the stage entrance. Fans had waited for this moment for months. Some traveled across countries. Some skipped work and school. Some spent entire nights camping outside the stadium just to witness another unforgettable performance from the artist they loved so deeply. But nobody expected the emotional roller coaster that would soon unfold before their eyes. As the opening music exploded through the stadium speakers, the members appeared one by one, greeted by thunderous cheers that shook the entire arena. Yet among all the excitement, eagle-eyed fans quickly noticed something unusual about Suga. His movement looked slightly slower than usual. The confidence was still there, the charisma remained untouchable, but there was a subtle stiffness in the way he stepped across the stage. At first many fans dismissed it, assuming it was simply exhaustion after the intense preparations and back-to-back performances. However, as the concert continued, concern slowly spread throughout the audience like wildfire. Then came the moment that changed the entire emotional tone of the night. During one of the transitions between songs, cameras accidentally captured Suga briefly touching his leg while trying to maintain composure. It lasted only seconds, but for ARMY, those few seconds were enough to trigger an avalanche of concern online. Social media instantly exploded with emotional reactions. Fans began posting screenshots, slowed-down clips, and worried comments asking whether he was injured. Some fans inside the stadium even became visibly emotional as they realized their idol might be enduring pain while continuing to perform without complaint. But what happened next stunned everyone even more. Instead of looking frustrated or allowing the discomfort to overwhelm him, Suga suddenly turned toward the audience and smiled. Not just an ordinary smile, but the kind of soft, reassuring smile that immediately calmed thousands of anxious hearts at once. It was warm, gentle, and unbelievably sincere. The smile of someone trying to tell the people who loved him, "I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Tonight is about you." And in that exact moment, the entire stadium erupted into emotional cheers. ARMY began screaming his name louder than ever before. Some fans cried openly while waving their light sticks high into the air. Others held banners close to their chest while watching him continue performing despite obvious discomfort. The connection between artist and fans suddenly transformed into something deeper than entertainment. It became a moment of emotional understanding that words alone could never fully explain. Throughout the night, Suga continued giving everything he had on stage. Every rap verse still carried his signature intensity. Every expression remained powerful. Every interaction with the audience felt genuine and affectionate. Even while fans noticed moments where he appeared to carefully balance his movements, he never once allowed the energy of the concert to collapse. Instead, he kept smiling, waving, and joking with ARMY as if his only mission that night was making sure nobody left the stadium feeling worried or disappointed. One particularly emotional moment happened during a slower segment of the concert when the lights dimmed and the stadium transformed into a sea of purple stars. Suga stood silently for several seconds, looking out at the crowd as fans chanted his name repeatedly. There was something emotional hidden in his expression during that moment. His eyes seemed tired, yet grateful. Emotional, yet strong. Fans later described the moment online as one of the most unforgettable scenes of the entire tour because it felt deeply human. Behind the global fame, behind the superstar image, there stood a person clearly pushing himself beyond limits simply to stay beside the people who loved him. As the night progressed, the emotional atmosphere only grew stronger. Every time Suga smiled, the crowd screamed louder. Every time he reassured fans with a wave or playful gesture, social media erupted again. Many ARMY began sharing emotional messages saying they wished he would prioritize his health and rest properly. Others praised his professionalism and dedication. Some fans admitted they could not stop crying after witnessing how hard he tried to stay cheerful despite the apparent pain. What made the situation even more emotional was the contrast between his physical condition and his emotional warmth toward the audience. Usually when people are hurting, they naturally focus inward. They become quieter, more distant, more reserved. But Suga did the opposite. He became even more attentive to fans. He constantly looked toward different sections of the stadium, making eye contact with ARMY, responding to signs, and smiling at fans who shouted his name. It was as if he understood the growing concern in the arena and deliberately tried to comfort everyone through his actions. That level of emotional awareness touched countless people deeply. Fans who attended the concert later described how the atmosphere shifted from excitement into something profoundly emotional. Many said the concert no longer felt like a typical performance but rather a shared emotional experience between Suga and ARMY. Some fans even said they would remember his smile more than any choreography or stage effect from the entire night because it represented strength, gratitude, and love all at once. Meanwhile online, clips of Suga smiling despite apparent discomfort spread rapidly across fan communities worldwide. Comments flooded social media platforms non-stop. People from different countries shared emotional reactions, expressing admiration and concern simultaneously. Some called him inspiring. Others said their hearts broke watching him endure pain while still trying to comfort fans. Many repeated the same emotional phrase over and over again, "Please rest well, Yoongi." Yet despite the concern, there was also overwhelming admiration. For years, Suga has built a reputation as someone deeply dedicated to his craft. Fans know how seriously he takes performances and how much responsibility he feels toward ARMY. His journey has never been easy. From difficult trainee years to becoming one of the most influential artists in the world, his path has always been marked by relentless hard work and emotional honesty. That honesty is exactly why moments like Stanford Day 2 impacted fans so strongly. People were not just watching a celebrity perform. They were witnessing someone choosing to endure discomfort because he genuinely did not want to disappoint the people waiting for him. As the concert reached its climax, emotions inside the stadium became almost overwhelming. The crowd sang louder than ever. Purple lights filled every inch of the arena. Fans raised banners and phones while tears streamed down many faces. And at the center of it all stood Suga, still smiling softly despite the exhausting night. There was a heartbreaking beauty in that image. A superstar carrying pain quietly while giving comfort to thousands of others at the same time. Then came another unforgettable moment. Toward the end of the concert, Suga paused briefly and looked around the stadium again. The crowd immediately erupted into deafening cheers. He bowed gently, placing his hand near his heart before smiling once more. It was not a dramatic speech. There were no long emotional words. Yet somehow that simple gesture said everything fans needed to hear. "Thank you. I'm okay. I love you." Those emotions were felt clearly without needing translation. After the concert ended, fans continued discussing the emotional night across social media for hours. Videos analyzing his movements gained millions of views rapidly while hashtags related to Suga and Stanford Day 2 began trending internationally. Emotional edits flooded timelines. Fan artists created illustrations inspired by his smile during the concert. Others wrote long heartfelt messages expressing both pride and worry. Many fans reflected on how Suga has always carried himself with quiet resilience. Unlike flashy displays of emotion, his strength often appears in subtle ways. A smile during difficult moments. A calm gesture when fans are worried. A determination to continue standing on stage even when his body appears exhausted. Those small actions become incredibly powerful precisely because they feel authentic. For ARMY, Stanford Day 2 became more than just another tour stop. It became a symbol of the emotional bond between Suga and fans around the world. The night reminded everyone why millions continue supporting him not only as an artist but as a person. His vulnerability made him relatable. His perseverance made him admirable. And his decision to keep smiling despite discomfort created one of the most emotional moments of the entire tour so far. Even fans who watched clips online rather than attending in person described feeling emotional after seeing his expressions during the concert. Many said the sweetness of his smile somehow made the situation even more heartbreaking because it showed he was trying so hard to reassure everyone else instead of focusing on himself. That emotional contradiction stayed with people long after the concert ended. Pain hidden behind kindness. Exhaustion covered by warmth. Worry answered with a smile. Those are the moments fans remember forever. As the lights finally faded at Stanford Stadium and ARMY slowly began leaving the venue, one image remained burned into everyone's memory: Suga standing beneath the glowing lights, visibly tired yet still smiling gently toward the crowd as if he wanted to protect their happiness until the very last second. And perhaps that is exactly why this moment became so unforgettable. Because behind the global fame, the sold-out stadiums, and the explosive performances, fans witnessed something incredibly human. Someone who continued choosing love over discomfort. Someone who understood how much one smile could mean to thousands of people waiting in the dark with purple lights raised high. The emotional impact of Arirang Tour Stanford Day 2 will likely stay with ARMY for a very long time. Not because of flashy stage effects or viral choreography, but because of one quiet, emotional truth that echoed through the stadium all night long. Even while hurting, Suga still chose to smile for ARMY.